Hello everybody, I'd like to get your attention. We'll get our day started, okay? Thanks for everybody coming. My name is Todd Dornick. I'm one of your hosts today, along with my dad, Dean, and my daughter, Michaela. Welcome to John D. Farm. We welcome you all. Thanks everybody for our delicious dinner so far. And the main thing is that we're able to get together and have some farmers talking to farmers, people talking to people, and that's where we get really good ideas and innovation coming from, is when we can get together. That's my opinion. So our journey to sustainability has changed for everybody. Does it work now? It doesn't work.
It does work. Does it?
Does work?
Can you hear?
No. Can you hear? No? Thanks, Kim.
Sorry. I thought the shirt could.
No problem. That's good. So everybody's road to sustainability is different. You know, as farmers, we've always tried to do the best for our land, best for our cows, and water quality, and doing those things is to always return things into a better place that you had them before. And so the WWCC, the Western Wisconsin Conservation Council, was started a few years ago. I'm going to probably need, thank you. Started a few years ago with some farmers around the area, including some board members that are here, that have a real value towards the way of life we have here. We love the land, we love the water, and the people and the community that we have here. And we want to keep it that way. And so how do we get there? And we, in my mind, water is very important for us. It's one of the greatest things that we have in our area is water, and the water quality that we have. And that's a common denominator that all of us can have, no matter if you live in the city or in the country or whatever. Everybody deserves clean water. So that's where we kind of started with. But now our organization has developed into 51 members through the WWCC and 3 different watersheds. We're in St. Croix, Polk, Dunn, Pierce County. And so we've kind of grown into a stewardship kind of place where we want to talk about the things that we've done well and the things that we maybe didn't do so well, but it's just learning from each other. And so that's where the WWCC started. And we're glad that everybody's here today just to kind of help us out, looking at some new equipment. Like I said, the road to sustainability has changed for all of us, and ours has ended up with the dribble bar. So I thought it was kind of interesting, right? It kind of goes that way. You never know where it's going to end up. And I want to first of all thank our sponsors again for today. I got that list here. First of all, our supporters for the WWCC are Farmers for Sustainable Food, Edge Dairy Cooperative, Dairy Business Association, the Nature Conservancy, Department of Trade and Consumer Protection, Advanced Dairy, Alta Genetics, Cargill, Hub Insurance, Agrometer Today, for example, John D. Farm, and Nature Energy. So with that, I think everybody wants to go out and see this thing go, right? I mean, this is what we came for today. But I'm going to hand it over to Kim for right now, and we'll go from there. You need the clip.
All right. I don't need your phone.
You don't need my phone
I need
either?
that.
Need that part.
I'm not taking your calls today,
No, I don't
Todd.
need calls. Thank you. I'm sitting back.
All right, well, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for coming out today. We appreciate it. I just have a few things for you before we hear from the folks at Agrometer and we head over and see this thing work. But my name is Kim Bremer. I'm with Ag Inspirations. And about a year ago, I got a call from Dean Dornick and said, hey, you should get on a phone call because we're learning about these biogas projects that are proposed in Wisconsin and Minnesota. And at Ag Inspirations, I travel across the country, well, from here to China for that matter, defending and promoting the use of science, technology, and innovation in how we grow and raise food. So this was an obvious thing to jump on the phone and hear about it. And from there, I would say after maybe the last 18 months, agri-waste energy operations and Nature Energy have been having discussions with local farmers. I see some familiar faces today. about providing some feedstock for the 3 proposed projects in Wisconsin and Minnesota. And these projects would take manure and make renewable natural gas. But this is a little different model than things that we've heard of in the past. This is actually Nature Energy designs, owns, operates, builds the projects, and you supply the manure along with turkey litter in this part of the world to make the renewable natural gas. We had 3 boards that we put up today. We do have these printed out for you if you want to take them before we head over, and we have a brochure as well with a lot of the information. But I think probably, you know, the biggest part is that you provide the manure, and this is the business model as well. You provide the manure, Nature Energy comes and picks it up, goes to the plant, makes the renewable natural gas, and the byproduct of that is probably what's most interesting to the farmers who are here today. It ends up that you have 2 forms of fertilizer, that you would have access to 2 different forms. The liquid form, which is this liquid digestate, and then a dry form. I actually have some here. I would encourage everyone today, before you head out of the tent, take a look at it, smell it, because certainly it smells less than regular old raw manure. But there are huge benefits to the farmers, and I know in a lot of our meetings we have covered this, but what comes out is the dry fertilizer and the liquid digestate. And we do have, some of it is up here and it will be in your handouts as well, but how does it compare to regular old raw manure? It's a lot more concentrated. So instead of our 18 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 gallons of raw manure, we're looking at about 41 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 gallons of raw manure. So certainly more nitrogen, and not only that, but it's also a lot more available, which is important because from your standpoint as a farmer, that means we're looking at application rates that are about 1/3 of what you would normally put on a growing corn crop. Now obviously that varies based on your nutrient management plan and what is needed for your particular crop, but on average it's about 1/3. So less trips across the field, less gas that's used, less soil compaction, so obvious benefits in this liquid digestate. But one of the things that we learned when we've been out talking to farmers in the last 18 months is, this is all great, Kim, but how am I going to get this out on the crop? And that's why we're here today. To see how we can apply this on a growing crop using some of the latest technology, because that's the important part. We want to deliver the right rate at the right time, the right amount to all of our growing crops. This has huge benefits, obviously. I mean, we are all concerned, like Todd said, water quality is important for everyone. This can be one of our biggest solutions. I don't need to tell you what a headache manure is. You all know it. So what is the solution? Nutrient water. Certainly looking at it, so digestate, it's more fluid and homogeneous than regular old raw manure. It easily infiltrates the soil. We reduce the loss of nitrogen when we apply it. The solid manure in deep litter is turned into liquid in a very efficient, it's a very efficient form of fertilizer. Again, more nitrogen per 1,000 gallons, and it's more available, so you don't have to put very much on it. I know Dean's going to walk through what they've done on the farm here. And the other part of this is reduces the need for mineral fertilizer. This really can be your ticket as far as all the fertilizer that you need for a growing crop. Lastly, as it goes through the digester, so weed seeds will not survive the digestion process. Pathogens are drastically lowered. So everything that we're trying to do, as you know, as farmers, to protect water quality with your focus on conservation, this is a great opportunity for farms of all sizes. That's another unique thing when we're talking about these 3 biogas projects, is that Nature Energy comes out and picks up your manure and brings you back the digestate for fertilizer. You don't need to have that significant investment of an on-farm digester. You don't have to do the maintenance work on the digester on your farm. This is an opportunity where farms of all sizes can participate in a biogas project. And big picture. We've all heard that the dairy industry has committed to reducing their greenhouse gas emissions by 50% by 2030. certainly this plays a role in that. When you look at, for the dairymen in the room, when you look at the DMI model and how we're going to get there in reducing greenhouse gas emissions, it involves a digester for these reasons. So again, as farmers, you have the opportunity to participate in this green circle of biogas. The nutrient water does have a declared nutrient content, so it does fit into about any fertilizer plan, and it provides you an opportunity to have your nutrients reallocated. And that really is the goal. And hopefully today we'll be able to, provided everything works, as most things, hopefully they'll work today, we'll be able to see a way that we can actually apply this onto the field. So with that, I think next up is Chris. Chris Bohl is from the Danish Embassy in Washington, D.C., and he's going to say a couple of words.
Great. Thanks, Kim. Do I need to have that on? Or?
You do, because we're recording.
All right. Great. Thank you. It's great to be here in Wisconsin. As you might be able to tell, I am an American actually, but I work for the Danish Trade Council and have for the last 2.5 years. The reason I say it's great to be back, my parents were both born and raised in Milwaukee, so Wisconsin holds a dear place in my heart and, of course, my belly, because I haven't stopped eating cheese or brats since I've been here this week. But today I'm here to just share a couple of quick thoughts. First of all, welcome on behalf of Nature Energy. Unfortunately, their representatives were not able to make it. Still some COVID lingering travel restrictions, but they expect to be up here soon, so they send their best to you all. My job, without getting into detail, is to help represent companies like Nature Energy. I have colleagues here who represent Agrimeter, who you'll meet in a short while here. But our job is to try to help bring them into the North American market, fit in these technologies and solutions where they make sense for everybody. So that's my job. Nature Energy, as you just heard, is a very large and well-respected company in Denmark. Over the last 10 years, they've built 12 projects that involve farmers like yourself, produce renewable energy, produce the nutrient water that goes out onto the land. I know the focus today is on nutrient water, so I'm not going to get into a lot of details. Denmark has undergone a process over the last 40 years. They had severe water impairment issues, just like we have in some places in the U.S. And digesters have been the primary tool for solving those issues. And today the water is much, much cleaner. The soil is healthier, and they have seen a major change there for the better, both for water quality, diversifying farmer revenue, and all the other environmental benefits that I know you all know come with digester and biogas plants. It's great to have Agrimeter here, and you're going to hear a lot more from them. We also have somebody representing a sand separation company, because if you're betting on sand, as you all know, that can be an issue with digesters. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on that today, but if anyone's interested, please let us know. Basically, I'm going to keep this really short. There's been a lot of great work that's been done up here in the last 4 years. Myself and my colleagues are ready to help support that, hopefully take it over the finish line. Ray has been a very instrumental here for many years. And we just want to support that and do something that's going to be beneficial for all of you here. So thank you. With that, I'll shut up. Those people who know me know I can go on forever, but I will be quiet and hand the mic back over. Kim, I don't know who's coming up next. Dean.
I'm not going to use that thing. Technology scares me.
You got to record it. You just got to clip it on to record it.
I didn't want to either, Dean, but they made me.
Sometimes you just got to listen to orders.
I know. You got to listen to smarter people. That's my. Here you go.
Thanks. I'm a numbers guy, and I want to talk a little bit about the economic benefits of this material. Got to get my notes. Oh, come on. Participation in the nature energy projects will transform the way we handle manure. Nutrient water, components of nutrient water, 41 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 gallons. For those of you that pump manure, you know that's how we measure things in the United States is per 1,000 gallons. 21 pounds of phosphorus, 41 pounds of potash. And those are available nutrients. Those are not components, those are available nutrients. The next crop you plant out there, those will be there if you put it on at the right time. It's a balanced fertilizer because you could put that on a corn crop for year after year after year, provide all the nutrients you need to grow that corn crop. At the end of 5 years, you will actually have decreased the amount of phosphorus in your soil by 100 pounds per acre, or about 5 parts per million. So if you are a dairy farmer and you've got phosphorus levels on 80 and 90 pounds, this field right across the road, your phosphorus level is 113 pounds per acre. We're not supposed to be putting any manure on that field until we get that drawn down. All dairy farmers face this issue, that the manure that they're putting out there has a lot more phosphorus than what is needed to grow the crops that are growing out there. So you're gradually building phosphorus level. You're putting manure on at a right rate to provide the nitrogen for the next corn crop. Because a lot of the nitrogen in manure is not available to the next crop. If you spread it on top of the ground, only 30% of it is available to the next crop. If you do better and inject it, only 50% of it is available to the next crop. So there's a lot of nitrogen out there that's not available to the crop, and you hope it's still there 2 years from now when you grow that other crop. There's no guarantee that that's going to happen, and that's the problem that we're facing. The manure, the nitrogen is out there in the ground. We hope it's there, but we have heavy rains like we've been having the last couple of years. A lot of it's going to be gone. Talked too much, my phone even went to sleep on me. I have plugged nutrient water into Snap Plus, the software program that I use for tracking nutrient application. Put it on corn 5 years in a row. I already covered that. We don't have a buildup in phosphorus. If we put on, that's 3,700 gallons per acre of this. Instead of 15,000 gallons per acre that we're putting out there with raw manure to provide enough nitrogen for the next corn crop, we're only putting 3,700 gallons on. To put on 15,000 gallons of manure on that field across the road, it's going to cost us $150 an acre to apply it. If we're only putting on 3,700 gallons per acre, it's only going to cost us $37 an acre to get that field covered. $37 an acre to provide all the nutrients you need to grow the next corn crop. If you're going to top dress or grass like we're going to do today, about 1,200 gallons per acre after you've taken the first crop off will provide 50 pounds of nitrogen to grow the next crop. It's all dependent upon applying it at the right time. Because it's in a readily available form, you can't be putting it out there in the fall and hope it's still there next summer. A lot of it's going to be leaching into groundwater or volatilizing in the air. It's got to grow on growing crop, and that's where Agrometer comes in. I really was intrigued with what Nature Energy was proposing, but I didn't see any equipment that could put it on a growing corn crops. I looked at Nature Energy's videos, and they show tankers running through the fields with the drill bars reaching out and applying it. And every field had tracks in it. I said, that may work here, but it's not going to work in Wisconsin where you're tracking down corn to get it applied. It costs too darn much to grow it, and too many of your neighbors are looking here. Look at that, they got tracks in their field. It's not going to work here. So when Agrometer became available, I says, we got to get that equipment here and demonstrate it. So with that, let's go see what it does. Are they ready to go? While we're getting the machine warmed up, what we're going to do, we're going to bring them right on the other side of the pine trees here. If you go right through that notch in the trees, you'll be able to watch them spreading on the hayfield. And then if you're interested and want to see if he knocks any corn down, we'll have to go down the road here to the cornfield at the other end of the pine trees. That's the plan. Any questions? Yep.
Do you have a second product also coming out from your diet?
The other product is called the Fiber Fraction. It's a high phosphorus product. It will contain 11 pounds of nitrogen per ton, 25 pounds of phosphorus per ton, and about 7 pounds of potash. But the nitrogen is in the ammonia form. You put that out on the field with your vertical spinners. By the time that particle gets out to the end of that spin, most of the nitrogen is gone. It's a phosphorus product. And grain farmers will be looking at that to replace the turkey litter, which they're no longer going to be getting. Any other questions?
Go down the road here or what?
I think we'll
Go across the street?
go across the street if they're ready to go.
I gotta get with you too, don't I? That would help, wouldn't it? I stopped and looked at it. It's built, it's not painted, they gotta put planetaries in it. I actually, we'll probably have it done before I got the truck done. We'll get the truck sitting in the shop kind of apart. We'll work it. I'm telling you, what the hell's going on? We gotta do it. Been busier now? Oh, one of these bikes. So we're gonna kind of center where they can just pipe from the air through the faces, or they're gonna do all truck. So is it going to be just like it is with these sewer plants where you take it, load it in, and you get a water from the back? He's going to make a loop hook up all there. I think they're just going to... They're going to be done with one truck. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Big Dairy and Eagle, there's some company coming in and put some big biogas plant in there. Is this a deal or what?